Fox 2 presents Hancock and Kelley.
Good Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Hancock and Kelley on Fox 2 Super Bowl edition. This is where we take on the top issues of the week. On the right, John Hancock.
Happy Super Sunday.
On the left, Michael Kelley.
Hey, good morning.
And I'm Andy Banker. On the agenda this morning, St. Louis's top cop heads to Jefferson City to fight a state takeover of the city police department. There's another viral video of another Missouri Republican breaking out a flamethrower. Both Republicans and Democrats lament our do-nothing Congress, from border security to aid for Israel and Ukraine to impeaching a cabinet secretary. In our quote of the week, a local congresswoman calls into question President Biden's memory and also calls for his resignation. Plus, there's a new Democrat candidate for Congress from St. Louis. On this Super Bowl Sunday, St. Louis Aldermanic President Megan Green says people have spoken and they want to spend NFL settlement money for city pay raises, among other things. And should Missouri and Illinois follow Michigan's lead in sending parents to prison for the crimes of their children? We begin with the showdown over a state takeover of the St. Louis Police Department. State Reps Brad Christ from St. Louis County and Lakeisha Bosley from the city clashed over the idea. Christ is pushing a bill for state control.
Have you ever been elected in the city of St. Louis?
No.
Okay. Have I ever been elected by citizens of the city of St. Louis?
Yes.
Okay. So why are you carrying a bill directly affecting the city of St. Louis when you have your own constituency that you need to worry
Because
about?
your problems in the city of St. Louis has affected my neighborhood
How?
and affected the whole state.
St. Louis Police Chief Robert Tracy testified against House Bill 1481 during a committee hearing Thursday. Under the bill, 4 city residents appointed by the governor would join the mayor on a police board to govern the department, a return to the way the department was governed until about 10 years ago. It was a holdover from Civil War days. The arguments for state control now: the mayor and chief have failed to address low pay for officers, low morale, record low staffing, leading to slow or no police response. City neighborhoods are now hiring their own police to fight crime. Where do you fall on state control and why, John?
Well, I think maybe this is an opportunity for the state legislature to set some standards and say, if the St. Louis Police Department doesn't achieve X number of officers, if the murder rate doesn't hit X percent, then it has a trigger for state control. I don't know that state control right now in and of itself is the answer, but I think it's a stick out there that could be used to make the city make the changes it needs to make.
Should it either be good or not good? You know, either it's the right thing to do or not the right thing to do.
Well, the current crime situation in the St. Louis region as a whole is not good, and that's part of the reason this whole conversation is coming up. I think police departments ought to be under the control of the cities that they're in. People who are closest to it should be able to elect the leaders who are running it. But the problems we've had with policing recently and the lack of policing are causing these conversations to happen. It's encouraging that the police chief showed up in Jefferson City and is making that case. And I think what we're watching now is the city of St. Louis is on notice. We've got to start to fix and address these problems in the city, or the state's going to take their big arm and come after us.
Remember a year ago we had the legislature and the attorney general pushing to get rid of Kim Gardner and state control. They were like twin issues.
Yep.
Kim Gardner's gone. Gabe Gore is in as a circuit attorney, and people are getting prosecuted for crimes. I thought police or control of the police department maybe went away, but it hasn't.
Well, that was a deal. So the deal
was
was last year that if Gardner would go, the legislature would drop the state control of the police department. That was the deal that was well, that deal's over and done with. And there's precedent. When the St. Louis school district failed, the state came in and took over. When the city of Detroit failed in Michigan, the state came in and ran the city. And I think, but for the federal funds sitting around in City Hall right now, there's a reasonable chance the city would be, bankrupt, and the state will have to take it over, and that may come at some point. I just think this police situation is one that we ought to seize as an opportunity, because state control is that's a big move. Let's set some standards. Let's see if they meet them. And if they meet them, they can run their department.
But it's not dead.
No, it's
I
not
mean,
dead.
this could happen.
Well, then the police department, the union itself is pushing for this effort to do it. And so that's going to have some merit, particularly with the Republicans in Jefferson City. The fact that the police chief is being out front and center on this, I think, is a positive step in the right direction. And I think he ought to take that same attitude he took to Jefferson City to St. Louis and be held accountable by folks like yourself, Andy, who are out there asking a lot of the questions that are causing this whole conversation.
St. Louis Aldermanic President Megan Green's push for public feedback on how to spend the city's NFL settlement money has failed to draw much of a response. Only about 12,000 people participated in the online survey, presenting 20 options critics say weren't very good options. The top 4 vote getters for spending more than $250 million are replacement of city water mains, traffic calming measures like roundabouts and larger sidewalks, pay raises for city workers, and free child care for city residents. Do any of these sound like equalizers for the loss of St. Louis's NFL football team, Michael Kelley?
No, but I'm not sure that we have much depth of thought when it comes to the ideas that are out there. All those are fine, although I don't get the some of it. The reality is the number one issue we need to be dealing with is crime, and there was nothing in the survey that was focused on crime. That was by design. The president of the Board of Aldermen, who put this thing out, wants to defund the police department. She said that in the past. So, look, these are all, I guess, steps in the right direction. It's amazing that it's, 4 or 5 years later, we still haven't spent a dollar of this, and we're still the most dangerous city in the country.
The mayor wants to kind of leave it there, maybe spend the interest, but let it keep earning money and don't touch it until we got something, we for sure want to do with it.
Yeah. Look, this is like voting for the Cardinals Hall of Fame, You get online and you vote, then you wait 5 minutes, you vote, you clear your cookies, Andy, and you vote again. Here, let me tell you what happened here. City employees, between the hours of 9 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, probably voted 600, 700, 800 times for pay. Who's going to vote for pay raises for bureaucrats and politicians?
I think
nobody.
They gave every sign-in 20 separate votes or something.
Well, yeah, I guarantee you.
But I guess you could create a bunch of different.
Everybody that works for the city of St. Louis and their relatives and their next door neighbors, if they like them,
and listen,
are voting for pay raises.
If this is how we're going to do democracy now, is by a survey monkey that we send out to people, then let's put the full complement of what people are concerned about, which they left out crime, Andy.
One of the hottest 2024 political campaigns just got hotter.
It's time to have a conversation about effective public service for our country, and that's why I'm running for Congress.
That is Democrat Maria Chappelle-Nadal. She's running against 2-term St. Louis Congresswoman Cori Bush. Chappelle-Nadal, a former state rep and state senator, joined St. Louis County Prosecutor Wesley Bell in challenging Bush, who is under federal investigation for using campaign money to pay her husband more than $100,000 for personal security. Michael, what's the impact of?
I don't think there's much. Maria Chappelle-Nadal is a person who has been alienated by the own Democratic Party. She did nothing but go after Jay Nixon. She alienated her own constituencies. Nobody on the right seems to want to work with her. She's hopping into this race after she picked a fight with the county council chairman, Retta Days. I think this is just a person who's trying to be relevant, and I think she's going to quickly realize how irrelevant she is.
Any impact? I mean, could she take more from Cori Bush than Wesley Bell?
I wouldn't think so. I would think Bush's support with all of the radical progressives is probably pretty solid and deep. Wesley Bell's going to have the money. Chappelle-Nadal's not going to raise any money. So it's going to be a 2-horse race, I think.
Another St. Louis area Republican breaks out a flamethrower. 24-year-old Valentina Gomez posted this viral video on social media. She's burning what she calls grooming books found in Missouri libraries. Books, she says, that sexualize children. She says she's running for Missouri Secretary of State. In September, State Senators Bill Eigel and Nick Schroer of St. Charles County used flamethrowers to burn stacks of boxes at a Republican fundraiser. Viral social media posts falsely accused them of actually burning books. John, is the GOP the flamethrower party? Should we change the elephant and put flames coming out of the trunk?
No, but I don't think. Well, I mean, it's a stunt. It did go viral, which tells you something about the state of our culture. But 24-year-old candidate for Secretary of State, it sounds like me back in the day. But I wasn't burning stuff up. No, I don't think she's a serious contender.
Well, you're right about that. She's not serious, and neither is the Republican Party. And why is that? Because this is the same thing that Eric Greitens did, and it's the same thing that Bill Eigel did. And now it's the same thing this 24-year-old's going to do. She's going to get attention. The Republican Party, which is not putting up serious candidates, is going to give her some support, and I think she could be a real problem.
We've got substantial candidates for all of these offices.
Well, apparently the ones who run around and throw flamethrowers. But at the end of the day, the people who are trying to get rid of books are never the good guys in history, Hancock.
Up next, our quote of the week, as Joe Biden's mental fitness is now the central issue in the presidential campaign after he is cleared, sort of, in the case against his mishandling of classified documents.